When the time came to figure out kind of what I wanted to do in life, I had, I guess, a little bit of extra emphasis for Utah State because that's where my parents went. And in high school, I took a marketing class. And so I really kind of liked, this idea of business, marketing, kind of getting an idea out there, everything tied to business and I guess all of its different avenues. And so I was initially interested in that, and so that's kind of what I wanted to explore. I applied to Utah State, was feeling really good about it, and I found an opportunity to also apply to the Huntsman Scholar Program. And so I did that, and I was accepted. I got that scholarship, and I was like, okay, it really just felt like it was going to make sense for me. So I applied, got in, and then I went and served an LDS mission. I was out for about 10 months. COVID happened, and then I got sent home. I was like, okay, all right, time to go to college, earlier than I expected. And I started kind of like during the pandemic, like right when school kicked back off, fall of 2020. That was when I started school. I didn't really know still what I wanted to do. At that point, I had a management major declared. And I initially was like, okay, I want to do into management. I feel like I've got some good leadership skills. I can maybe work my way into a position there. I was still interested in finance. My dad, he kind of taught me as a little kid, the importance of having a budget, kind of tying all those things together, making sure you take care of yourself and then your future family. With that in mind, I was like, okay, I want to carry that forward. My dad taught me these skills. What else can I do? How can I expand upon what I was given? And so I realized pretty quickly in my first finance class that management wasn't what I was looking for. And so I changed my major to finance, and then I hit the ground running. And so, as I started, I was excited, I was curious about what I could do, and obviously within the field of finance, there is a lot of opportunity, whether that's corporate finance, investment banking, private equity, even real estate, right? All those avenues. And so I had to figure out what I wanted to do. I got an internship with Optum doing healthcare finance. I loved it. It was fantastic, was part of a wonderful team. Kind of looking for opportunities after that. This was me going now into my junior year, being part of the Huntsman Scholar Program. Had the opportunity to do Lab 3, which is where we got to go on a trip. I got to go to New York, never been. Fell in love with the city. We got to tour all these big high-end financial firms, whether that be, investment banks, private equity funds, sovereign wealth funds. We even went to Standard & Poor's, all these big, cool Wall Street type of firms. And I was like, I think I want to do this, right? I realized that was way cooler, way more intense, kind of what I was looking for, that fast pace. I pivoted once I got back to school, realized I was behind. I started applying to all kinds of internships. Long story short, I spent a year with nothing. I got absolutely nowhere. Nobody accepted any of my internship applications. So instead I did a sales gig for a summer, and I tried to fill up some of my extracurricular time building some of these skills. I helped start a student-led real estate portfolio. It's called PREF, Partners Real Estate Fund. That transitioned into competing in the Utah Real Estate Challenge. So my team, all Aggies, we were able to take second place, beating out most of the MRED students at the U. I had graduated with my undergrad in finance and economics at that point. Realized I wasn't quite done, and so I enrolled into the master's program, the MFE, Masters of Financial Economics. Was able to get accepted. And then prior to starting, I filled my whole summer with applications like I did the previous summer. I was like, okay, I want to get into high finance. I want to get back to New York. That was like my number one goal. And again, I got rejection after rejection, but I was able to get lucky and pencil through with an application to BlackRock, where I was accepted to their U.S. equities real estate team. So I'll be going there this coming summer as an intern for the largest asset manager in the world with over $10 trillion in asset under management, and I'll be on their real estate equities team. And if I wasn't busy enough, I've also decided to start my own business, helping people passively invest in real estate. My time through here at Utah State has constantly been that of a challenge, right? I've taken on opportunities. When they've presented themselves, I've decided to, fill my time. Well, I was like, what else can I do? How else can I push this barrier that I've set for myself? And so that was really my experience. I really took Dare Mighty Things to heart, right? I mean, that was from day one, it was like, Dare Mighty Things, what can you do, right? And I realized that the biggest barrier to myself was myself. And so I was like, we're gonna knock down that barrier every day. When you go applying for positions for a year and you come up with nothing, I mean, I fill out 100 applications and you didn't get one. you feel like you're drowning, absolutely. And I definitely had some hard nights with my wife, right? We're like, okay, like, what do we do? What else can we do? And what I would say to anybody who's in that position, or even, wants to put themselves possibly in that position, you're gonna need that lifesaver, right? And that's gonna come from other people. So I would love to say, yeah, I did this all by myself, but I would be flat out lying if that were the case, if I were to say that. In reality, right, I had so many peers, I had so many mentors, I had so many professors who were there to help me, right? They had a skill set, they'd done it before, or they knew people that could connect me with other people, right? It was all this network channel, and really just a support group as well. So that's kind of where the idea for getting involved in Pref came. That was where the challenge to do UREC came. Like, it was from these peers of mine and professors who sat down with me and were like, hey, this is what you want, it's going to take some work. And so I was like, all right, let's do it. And so having that network and really finding that network. If you don't have one, that's okay. Like, people, I think, are more willing to help than you think. And then the last thing I'd say is, I think it's okay to have bad days. I feel like I have a pretty cool story. I talk about all the things I've been able to accomplish, but that wasn't without days where I was just like in bed, or like I didn't want to get out of bed, or just laid on the couch, and I was just like eating a bag of chips and watching a movie, right? Because I was like, I'm brain dead. Like, I think those days are okay. You can't go 100% rock star every day, and I think you should try to, but you need to be able to intuitively understand what your limits are and try to break them. And when you can't, like, it's okay. Reset and then go after it the next day. I mean, when I set these goals for myself, like, they scared the crap out of me. There's no way. But maintaining that balance of setting really lofty goals, but then also having a realistic plan of action, right? And I think that's all it takes. My name's Braxton Hackman, and I dare mighty things.